Live from the Pines. Tonight is our first show of the year, Texas High School Football Edition. We will be welcoming Gary Ivins, a.k.a. Big Nasty, on this show every Wednesday live. We don't have a time on it yet, but just expect us to release the time, the day or two ahead of time. We have some busy schedules. How are you guys doing tonight? It's a great week. We're getting ready to head to Longview.
Man, it's an honor to be with you boys. Appreciate the invite and start this weekly show. It's going to be a lot of fun and talking about our Lufkin Panthers for sure this week and a lot of more teams around the.
Yep, we're good. I got a good sweat in loading up that trailer, getting ready to head to Longview. We got it back. Had some mishaps, but we should be ready to roll by Friday.
Man,
you get out of the air condition more than once a week, you probably wouldn't sweat as much.
Hey.
You would not believe the day we had with that trailer. But we got it all ready, loaded up. We'll have it at the school tomorrow, get all the kids' stuff loaded tomorrow night, and get ready to hit the road, headed to Longview to Friday.
You boys got a solid case of that Freon disease. I already know.
Well, Gary, you talk a little bit. We're not going to spend much time on it, but talk a little about what this show is going to, what it'll be all about.
Well, we'll start it off each week, obviously, recapping our Panthers from last week and looking forward to what's coming up on the docket here in a couple of nights, and of course all of District 9 5A. And what I like to do each week is focus in on District 11 5A and 12 5A because, as you know, we're probably going to make the playoffs and play that District 10 out of Houston and get a win. So I like to kind of keep an eye on the 4 or 5 teams that we might play in week 2 and week 3, and then of course I hit all the teams up from around the area as well, and of course hit some college and NFL when we get a little closer to time on that as well.
That's very true. Well, go ahead and get us started, Gary.
Well, let's hit our sponsors up first. I want to thank Chris Johnson, all the fine folks at Whataburger. Obviously, I brought Coach Outlaw with us as well, and I got my Whataburger cup in there because the last coach to win in Longview was
Coach Outlaw.
Coach Outlaw, that's right. That's going back. So we got him giving us a little safety guard in the back. Wright Buick GMC, Tyler and the guys over there do nothing but support us, as we all know. And, of course, our new first-year sponsor, and, boy, it's not like we don't know where it is. We go to Tia Juanita's a bunch, and guess what, Trey? They'll be seeing a lot more of us now coming to football season as Tia Juanita's is proudly supporting the podcast. They'll be our pregame sponsor as well. They're going to be all over the broadcast this year.
We're glad to have those guys. We thank you for what y'all do for Lufkin Athletics, and we thank you for being a part of this great show.
Yep. Couldn't find anybody better.
Going to be some fun. So you guys obviously went to Lufkin. I did not. I've been here since 2007. My first game in Longview actually was in 2007, the 31st of August. We beat them in Lufkin 16-13, and I'm telling you, it was my first experience for Lufkin football working, and it was the wildest thing. All the fans, I think they said there was 10,000 fans there that night. It was unbelievable. It's an experience I'll never forget.
Man, I can only imagine. I think me and Spoon had to be at least 7 or 8 years old then. And, our senior year is last year. We actually beat the Lobos. We beat them at home that year. Cordell Rogers, many more, Javante Ellington, and so many more contributed to that big Panther win. And, we're ready to get on the road and, get another Panther W hopefully this week. Want to give a big special shout out to our guy, Cordell Rogers, 2017 class graduate. He was the last one to beat the Lobos, and hopefully Javion Johnson can get it done Friday.
No doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
This will be my 22nd Panther Lobo game.
22nd?
22nd. Yep.
Oh.
I'm 5-4 at the Abe. I'm 0-3 in neutral playoff games, and 2 of them are the biggest heartbreaking losses I've endured as Panther broadcaster. And at Lobo Stadium, your boy here is now 0-9. I have not seen a win in Longview.
Ooh. I don't.
Yeah.
That
I did the math on that this afternoon, and it's not very good.
It doesn't seem to be that big of a loss, but, you talk a little about the Lobos last year. They had a great team, had a great guy at running back, Boosie, toting the rock for them. And, they ended up having a freshman. Was he a freshman or sophomore last year quarterback?
He was a sophomore, but he didn't play till actually,
That's what I'm saying. He came in and took them down the stretch, and, they lose to a great South Lake Carroll team. We get them at home to start the season off last year, and it's an absolute hurricane at the Abe.
Torrential downpour. We were in the stands that entire game, and it was not fun.
Yeah, they got the freak play before half, and you're going, okay, well, we thought we had them, we didn't have them. They run it back on just, give them credit. They made a play, and that 7-0 stood all the way down to about the last 3 or 4 minutes. We got first and goal at the 4. We try to get it in for 3 times, can't. Coach elects to kick the field goal, making it 7-3. I think it was about 8 minutes left, actually, and Longview does what they do. They go on an 8-minute drive. I don't think we got the ball back, and that was your final score. It was actually the last game we lost up until you got to round 2 of the playoffs late, what was it, November.
Mm-hmm. Man, they get down that not South Lake, Longview get South Lake Carroll in the playoffs, and a lot of people say they missed that kick, but at the end of the day, it was still a great game, and South Lake got to move on to play for a state championship, and I know those Longview fans sure hated to lose like that, but one thing about it, it's called football.
Yep, you never know. It's as Coach Outlaw used to always say, it's not a round ball, it's oblong. You never know how it's going to bounce.
Yeah, and looking at that Longview team from last year, you lose a lot of key guys. You lose your running back, you lose that all-state linebacker core, you lose your offensive line. But one thing we know about Longview, they will reproduce athletes, and they will have plenty of guys lined up ready to play football in that Lobo green.
Yeah, that's
right.
They reload.
Yeah, before we get started, the news came out this week on Coach King. I don't know much. I don't think any of us know much, but we do know that he's been diagnosed with some form of cancer, and we do nothing but wish him the best. And thought and prayers, obviously, with Coach King and his family. We'll all be thinking about him not only tonight and on Friday night, as I'm sure everybody will. But that was horrible news that we saw earlier this week, and we wish nothing but the best for our good friend, Coach John King.
Man, that's a blow to everybody. It's all around the state of Texas when it comes to the football world, and no matter how big of a rivalry Longview might be, that's still family at the end of the day.
You're right. If you're looking on the field, they got 2 big studs coming back on the defense. That's Williams, number 92. We'll be calling his name out. He's one of the nose guards. He raised havoc last year. But the guy I remember the most is 47, and his last name's Hampton Williams. Man, those 2 guys were in the backfield all night. And obviously it was Quincy QT's first start at quarterback after Javion got injured in the scrimmage. So there was a lot of uncertainty there on offense, but the certain thing was those 2 guys are in the backfield, and Coach Absek and, of course, Coach Cook on the offensive line are going to have to find out where those 2 guys are from the jump.
Yeah, and, man, I looked at our scrimmage last Friday, and our offensive line trotted out there, man, and I was very pleased to see the size we have up front protecting Javion Johnson and making that hold for Kenneth Waters as we go through the season.
Yeah, Coach, you got a lot coming back. Highlight about Ethan Henson, the big he started every game last year as a sophomore. He moves down into left tackle or left guard this year. But Daniels played a lot. McFarland didn't play center, but he played a lot last year on the offensive line. And Hicks is obviously coming back. So I think this might be one of our best offensive lines we've had in recent memory here in Lufkin.
Yeah, you're completely right about that. And I think, one thing about this game, both teams are going to be young. They lose a lot, we lose a lot. We had a heck of a senior class last year. But, one thing I'll say that sticks out the most is, being around the program a little bit more this year, getting to watch a lot. I don't think our kids have missed a beat. I think the guys that are coming back have definitely, picked up their step and ready to go. And I also think the guys we have coming up. And, one guy I want to talk about a lot, is number 38, Mason Mark. If you watch him in the scrimmage, true freshman, came out there and handled his own. Then you get in the middle and you have Desmond Hood right there, and you get to the defensive line, and you know all about our defensive line. You watch them Friday night, they can for sure get after it.
Yeah, Trey, I don't know if you got the chance to watch all this, but I got going to be at the guy that handles the load. He's the really lone incumbent. I know Davis played a lot. He came in with Zion, either needed a break or was injured. But I think Desmond Hood is going to switch into inside linebacker this year. And if you ask me if there's everybody knows the guy from Port Arthur Memorial is getting all the dabs, district MVP from the defensive side. But I'm telling you right now, I think Desmond Hood has got a chance to put his name in the hat to get that honor at the end of the season.
Man, Desmond Hood, I saw him on media day Saturday, and he came walking through there, and that kid is every bit of what a Lufkin middle linebacker looks like.
And I don't even know how to pronounce number 40's name, but all I'm going to call him is Yes Sir, because he moved in. I believe it was from Abilene. He's going to see him on the defensive line moving around. He's number 40. We'll get his name right come Friday night, but I'm calling him Yes Sir because this man is a grown man, and I would not have to want to block him.
He is all man. I saw him Saturday night at the fish fry, and he walked up to me without pads on, and I had to look up to him. And, getting that key piece in him coming in this summer and getting him for this year, that's going to be a big thing for Coach Calgie on that defense.
Yeah. Cordell talked about it when he talked at Lions Club. He's like, I don't know his name yet, but he moved in from Abilene. It's a good-looking kid. And that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah, that's all you need to know right there.
Yeah.
I'm getting him pulled up right now here on the roster, and I want it. His name's Davion, and he played a little bit last year in Abilene, and he was a big kid then, but getting to see him up close as much as we did, this summer, and in these scrimmages, you can definitely tell the kid has never, he's played a lot of football, and you also got to go to the offensive side of the ball and look at some of the kids we've had step up this year. You get Javion back this year; it's his first year, healthy going into the season, and he had his surgery and everything, and man, I'm just really looking forward to what he can do this year for the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm interested in him too as well. You got the Waters kid. The running back room is going to be really good. I know we had Keidron Young. That's one of the most prolific rushers in Lufkin history, obviously, and big shout out and prayers up to him as well, as he tore his ACL a couple of weeks ago, and he's going to miss the entire season up for Notre Dame. We'll certainly be looking forward to seeing him next year. But I'm intrigued. You got two sophomores in Traylor and Alexander. I know we all call him the Joker. And you got Waters obviously come back as a senior. It's going to be fun to see how Wallace comes in from that 2 spot. I got a feeling he's going to try to handle that position we're going to be needing to fill from Kivo moving on, which it'll take more than one person to fill those shoes, I can promise you. But those will be some names I think we'll be calling out on Friday night, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this running back group.
Nasty, Devon Wallace might be new to Lufkin, but he is not new to the game of football, and he's not new to the Panthers. He grew up watching great Lufkin football, got to watch his uncle Cordell Rogers handle the quarterback position for Lufkin. His dad was a, athlete for Lufkin, played football for us back in the day. Was on those teams that played against those great South Lake Carroll teams. But, you look at Devon Wallace and what he's did in the past at his previous school. To rush for that many yards in a 6A district like the Woodlands, Oak Ridge, Conroe, and all those different schools, you obviously know he can play and he can contribute a lot to the program this year. So I'm really looking forward to see what he can do for us.
Yeah, and you're going to hear some names, and you're going to go, man, those names sound familiar. Obviously, Jakevion Sanders and Burrs have been to the scene. They've been 2-year starter or 2-year players on the basketball team for head coach JT McManus. They're now transitioning over to football as well. And I'm telling you, I don't know if it's going to happen Friday, but as the season goes on, Sanders is one of the most special athletes that we've had through here. I'm telling you, from an athleticism standpoint, he's going to make some ESPN catches on the year. I promise you.
Man, I'd love to see him in the red zone, lined up one-on-one, give him a little jump ball like back in the day with the greats, Jabrise Taylor, Quinn Trimble, Des Bryant, and many more.
No question about that. It's going to be fun to watch.
Nasty and Trey, I got a question for y'all. What are y'all looking forward to the most for this game Friday? What's exciting you guys the most?
Go ahead, Trey.
I mean, it's the first football game of the season. It's the best time of the year. It's a Friday night lights. And with a historic rivalry like this, you said, what, this is the 88th, 87th?
88th meeting.
88th meeting. With the history like this, and granted, the last 10 years has maybe been a little bit lopsided, but the tension's there. It's just going to be a great atmosphere. Going to Longview, I can't wait for the ball to be spotted and it's go time. I'm just pumped. I've never been this excited about a football season in a long time.
Well, and you factor that in. I kind of asked Coach Absek this Monday night. We were down at South First Street in his weekly interview. Are you a little nervous this week? I mean, it's your first game at a new spot, and you're on the road at a top 15 team in 6A. And he was like, man, you're not nervous. Just anxiety, maybe. Anxious is the word he was looking for. But you factor all that in that Trey said, and you factor in we got a brand new regime. I heard Coach King earlier this week said this is the first time as a head coach.
Uh-oh.
We lost Nasty for a second. We'll keep going. He'll be right back with us. He's having a little technical difficulties. But Trey, do you remember, last year, Lufkin versus Longview? Me and you were standing in the stands. It's pouring down rain, and we get the ball in the second half, and we're like, we got a chance. We still got a chance, and we move the ball all the way down the field, and they end up stopping us and everything. But you go back and look at that game. If you take out the weather, I'm not making that excuse, but you take out the weather, we get to put the ball in the air a little bit more, get the ball to Kivo. I think he walk out there with a big Panther win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how you don't, because you've got we got Nasty back. There we go.
We're back.
We're somewhere.
Yeah, you had a little pause in your connection.
Yeah, but with the absolute monsoon that was going down, it forced your hand. You had to keep the ball on the ground. You couldn't. I mean, even if the ball was thrown, you might not be able to see it. We could barely see what was going on the field, let alone those receivers seeing a ball in the air. So it definitely played a factor in it. That's why it was so low scoring, and I don't think it was going to be close either way. But it definitely played a factor, and every loss to Longview just leaves a bad taste. So I just can't wait for Friday.
Our man Brendan Nash commented, "There is nothing like suiting up and running out of that helmet and seeing Longview green on the other side of the field." If I can remember, he was that off.
It's not a helmet this year, boys.
That's not ours. Not a helmet. Yeah, we're gonna be running out with Panther head this year. If you haven't seen it yet, you'll see it Friday night, and it is awesome. The kids absolutely love it. We let the kids have a decision in that, and they love it, and that's what it's all about. You look at everything we do for the community and the kids and everything, and like Coach Abstick always said when he first got here and he first Booster Club meeting, he goes, "I want to make this an experience of a lifetime for these kids." He said when he was at Cedar Park and other places, he had kids come back from smaller colleges and different places, and they always said, "Coach, you took care of us." A lot of the things that we had at this high school, we don't even have at the next level, and that's our goal, to give these kids all these opportunities, give these kids here the same opportunity.
Yep, absolutely.
No doubt about that. But what do you boys think is going to happen on the field come 7:30 on Friday night?
You want to go first? Or want me to go first?
You go ahead.
Well, I mean, we all want Lufkin to win. We all think Lufkin's going to win. So I know we can throw that in one bag over here. How do you think it's going to go down? I really think you're going to see a lot of great defense, but I also think you're going to see 4, 5, maybe 6 plays that go for big-time yardage. A missed tackle. Both teams have a bunch of athletes. And I just feel like they're going to see a bunch of schemes from Lufkin that they've never seen. And I just got a feeling we're going to see some big play offense on both sides come Friday night.
Man, I think our kids this year are very athletic. I think if you put 2 or 3 of our kids in space and you put them one-on-one, our kids they're gonna make somebody miss and they're gonna go score a touchdown. I think we got the speed to make it happen. I like our chances with Devon Waters and Kenneth Waters, in space. I really do. I think that it's gonna be a great ball game, like you said, defensively. But I think the Panthers will come out this game with a big win.
Yeah, like Nancy said, we all want the purple and gold to be on top. But I think it is going to be good defense on both sides of the ball. And like both of you said, it's not gonna come to whoever has the ball at the end of the game, because the defense is just too good. It's gonna be who breaks a big one in the second or third quarter, maybe late in the first, that has that big score, puts them just ahead. And I think that'll be the difference maker. Who can have more big plays? Because there's going to be some, like you said, 4, 5, maybe 6. It's going to be who has, the 4-2 or the 5-3 that happens. And whoever has that is going to come out on top. And I just hope it's the guys wearing purple.
I know he's brought in this new offensive coordinator from Oklahoma State because he wants to throw the football. But I know Coach King and I know them Lobos. And I know when it's a tight ball game in the fourth quarter, you look up, they're going to run to the right side, 62 and 67, 2 guys from last year. Dunn and Yoder are huge human beings, and they're going to run that football that right side, and you just know that's going to come in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it seems like it's that. I mean, you talk about the history there. I can just remember in our high school days, it seems like they had a bowling ball in the backfield, and an offensive line knew exactly where to go.
They had a bag of bowling balls.
Yeah, and they keep rolling them out there, and they're rolling splits, they're rolling strikes, and next thing you know, it's 10 yards at a time, 8 yards at a time, and next thing you know, they've marched 5 minutes down the field and it ends in 7. So I can always see that coming out of Longview.
Man, I saw something on Facebook and Twitter. It was in the Texas High scrimmage with Longview. They got a move in from McKinney. He's 6'2", 220, lines up in the backfield. They ran him on a screen route, and when he got the ball, he was every bit of downhill. Yeah. And, I hope our guys just come out and they're ready to hit somebody in the mouth. Because one thing you're going to have to do when you play a team like Longview, they will never quit. They're going to keep hitting you in the mouth. So we're going to have to keep hitting them in the mouth. And I love the energy our defensive coordinator, Coach Cal Gill, brings to everything. You see him in practice. You see him in the hallway. You see him in public. He is always on 10, and I love it about him.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Frazier's the guy you're talking about. He is a huge human being as well in the backfield. There's real quickly, next week opponents, as you know, we're going to be playing the Dragons over in Nacogdoches. They're playing, stepping down in classification, I believe, down to Palestine, and they actually play tomorrow night. So going down to the 4A ranks there to play Palestine. That'll be tomorrow night. But the rest of District 9-5A, it looks like it should be a walkthrough besides a couple. Westbrook goes to Eisenhower, Baytown Lee at Goose Creek. Now, Galveston Ball is playing Manville. That'll be a good one to keep an eye out on. Beaumont United at Bel Air. And the team that's picked with us to contend for the district championship, Port Arthur Memorial, rated 17th in the first poll, will be at New Caney, and that is pretty much the rest of
No. They get D Caney. They get D Caney. Barbers Hill gets New Caney. You still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get D Caney. Barbers Hill gets New Caney.
I try to block Barbers Hill out of my mind, Pops.
Yeah. That's going to be a big ball game. September 26th. Got to have that one on the calendar for sure.
Oh, no doubt about that.
Encircled.
Nasty, you've decided what time you're leaving Friday?
I figured I'd get out there about 2 o'clock. Get me there at 4. Get a little bite to eat at Whataburger, and be on the field ready to go live at 5.
Man, I think we got the same game plan. I think we're going to get out here about 2:30 and get down there early and get something to eat and, make sure we get a good parking spot and get ready for a Big Panther game.
Might have to drive through Shreveport and bet some of these winners I'm going to give you a little later.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely ready to talk. I'm definitely ready to talk about it. But before we move on to anything else, we got to talk about our man, Coach Green. The Growth and Indians get ready to go play Alto Thursday tomorrow. Well, that's actually tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
And our guy Gunner Quick, he gets the headset tomorrow at the offensive coordinator position. If you know Gunner Quick and you got to watch him last year when he got the chance to put his offense out there, man, I think he's going to do something special over there in Growton.
Yeah, I think they're poised for big things with Gunner at the helm there on the offense. And it's in Alto, correct?
It's in Alto tomorrow at 7. We're going to try our best to get up there and watch that ball game, but we got a lot of stuff to get ready for Friday. Talking to Coach Green and Gunner, they're going to have some size, and they got a few guys that can run. And, you get down to that 2A mark, and, it all depends on who has the best athlete. Yeah. And I know for one thing, I know Gunner Quick's going to do his best to, put guys in space and get the ball out and, just go try to get a Growth and Indian win.
Yeah, there's another big game over. I can't remember. I was listening to Dave Campbell's their live picks today. Is it? It's Kilgore and Carthage.
Man, that's gonna be a big ball game. Big ball game. Two teams coming off a state championship.
Yeah. So I played golf with Jet Surratt. So I'm a big
I heard our guy Miller Todd, Lufkin High School freshman golfer, beat Jet Surratt.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I beat Jet Surratt too. So that made me. I need to go play Miller Todd and see how that falls. But that'll be a really big game, and it'll be fun. 2 Bulldogs going at it too.
Yeah, 2 Bulldogs, 2 great programs, and 2 teams coming off the state championship. It's going to be a really big game. Talking about some more games around us. Let me get my notes out. Gary already covered Nacogdoches playing Palestine. Who else we got out there? You got College Station at who is that?
John Tyler plays Marshall.
Yeah, College Station plays E.K. Collinson. Annapolis plays Lake Belton. Pflugerville plays Randall. LaPorte plays Deer Park. Angleton gets Clear Lake. That Angleton team is another team we got to talk about. That's a team we will probably be seeing down the road, down the stretch of the playoffs. That's probably going to be a good 3rd-round game right there for us. Talked about Carthage. South Oak Cliff versus North Shore. Another good game. Talk about a team that stacks the first part of their schedule to get ready for their district. District might not be the best, but they stack that schedule up early, get ready for that playoff run. Yeah, who else we got? We got Huntsville at Brenham. If everybody hasn't known yet, Brenham had one of the best backs in high school football last year. I think he ran for about 2,500 yards last year. He is in the transfer portal. He is leaving Brenham, and he will not be there this year. And I don't know where he's going, but per my sources, he's going across town. Rowell going to Navasota. I don't know how true that is, so don't mark me on that. But the kid can play. I think he is about 6 foot, 190, and he is solid. You run for 2,500 yards last year. You are doing something the right way. I don't know where Nasty went. We're rolling without him. He's having some internet problems. But, Trey, we talk a lot about Texas high school football and everything, but, that's all we care about. High school football, college football, a little bit of the NFL. This time of the year coming around, we're ready for it. It's one of the best times of the year. You get Texas versus Ohio State side. We'll get the college football segment as we go. But, we're just glad to have football season back as a whole.
Like I said earlier, the anticipation for this football season is the most I felt. One, because I'm a Florida fan, and the way they ended the season is really good. And then two, in Lufkin, new regime. You had a great season last year, so you're hoping you can build off the success with the new coach. And so you just thinking, the sky's the limit. That's why you just can't wait for it to start. And I'm just itching. I'm so ready for it to go. That's all I can think about. It's consuming my days. I spent too much time on message boards today, just reading, stuff that probably isn't even true. But I just can't help myself because I'm just so ready for the ball to be spotted on Friday night and get this thing going.
Nasty. Our man Austin Brown wants to know, are you still on dial-up?
Well, I did come up to the cleaners to try to get this working, but I think I have connected in and got my own cord. I think we're good to go.
There we go.
Well, while you were gone, we covered a few more games around us, and you talked about the North Shore and South Oak Cliff game, how big of a game that's going to be. South Oak Cliff likes to stack that schedule early. We went on a few more games around us, but we talked
more Carthage, Bulldogs.
Y'all talking about my boy Jet?
I did. Well, I talked about Jet.
We threw in that our guy Miller Todd beat Jet Surratt.
Yeah.
I haven't got the word of he's playing yet. He had shoulder surgery this off season, so I haven't got the word of he's going to be for this go. I was going to text his dad here, but I had his internet trouble. But he had shoulder surgery, but he's going to be ready for district. He may be playing Friday. I'm not sure, but I'll find out before we go on.
Well, it wasn't bothering him in the qualifier I played with him because he was swinging the golf club about 140 miles an hour. Move a golf ball.
Austin Brown wants to know what kind of offense we running this year. We will be running a secret offense. You'll see it Friday night.
We're going to be running the offense. The offensive coordinator calls.
You'll see it Friday night. It's something special. I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
We also talked about our guy, Coach Green and Gunner Quick, getting their start over at Grothin.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that. You said that's tomorrow night?
That's tomorrow night at 7. And out in the toe.
I'll leave out here about 6:15 and I head that way.
We're going to try our best to make it down there and watch those guys and support them for sure.
Yep.
Another big game. Our guy, Rob Thomas.
I can't go tomorrow night.
If you saw what we had to do today, loading that trailer.
I might have to be bowling, but that's a different story.
Bowling
in that. Yeah, tree pack. Shout out to Texas Real Estate Political Action Committee.
Well, I'm sure you can get out of that and come over to Alto after that.
I don't know. The 5-man in there. See if we can't catch a dub.
Hell, I think we owe it to O'Green. I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna take little man over there for that one.
There we go.
Well, we lost Nasty again.
Yep.
We're gonna have to get that fixed for sure.
Absolutely.
But also, we want to talk about our guy Ralph Thomas getting the first start in the 6A level. He's gonna be taking over the reins with Mesquite Hornets. I'm really proud of Ralph Thomas and what he's accomplished. The guy can for sure coach some football. We know that for a fact. He's going to have some great things going. He has old Alton Dixon with him, Coach Ritt with him, Coach Maddox, and a few others, man. I'm looking forward to what they can do. It's going to be a big game over there. They have Arlington week 1. They're playing on the road. They're going to start it off on the road, and we know our guy Ralph Thomas, one thing about him, he's going to have those guys very prepared, ready to go play football.
Oh, yeah. It's his motto, what? Us versus us?
Us versus us, baby. It's on everything they have. They definitely pushed the brand for sure.
Absolutely.
Nasty, talk a little bit about, Lufkin and their road. And, we kind of have an idea what you'll see once you get through the district play. You have the first round HISD school, then you get in the A&M Consolidated College Station schools, so you move your way up right there. But before we get there, we have a district that, is pretty good. District 9, you lay it out. You got Port Arthur Memorial. You have Galveston Ball, Barbers Hill, and a few other schools out there. But Westbrook, been hearing a lot of great things about Beaumont Westbrook. They're young. They kept their kids together. They have a great quarterback over there. And I'm definitely ready to see what they can do. Did we?
Internet, boys.
Okay.
No, you're good.
But anyway, you're right. If we win the district, what happens is we're all going to win the first round, just like we did last year. You move into the second round. If we win the district, we're going to get the runner-up of District 12 in round 1, and that is the College Station A&M Consolidated District. But you also got to remember Pflugerville Weiss.
Nice.
Those 3 teams are rated 8th, 10th, and 12th in the preseason poll, so all 3 of them are good. If you win that game, you're either going to get the runner-up out of 11, which is either going to be LaPorte, who's number 6, or Angleton, who's preseason number 7. So if that's the route. If you win the district, we get runner-up in the district, you will play in the second round the winner of 12, which, again, if you're going by projections, that's College Station. But either way, rounds 2 and 3 are going to be against a good team. But, like we said, we're not scared of anybody. And but I will keep tabs on those teams as we move through the season.
Yep.
No doubt. And like you said earlier, next week we head to Nacogdoches. And this is the first time in a long time I can remember we're playing them at Dragon Stadium.
All I know lately, it has been some beat downs.
It has been a lot of beat downs. And
I remember our time at Dragon Stadium.
You said what?
I said I remember our time at Dragon Stadium, the 2015 season. I think I called the touchdown to Basil Eric Atkinson IV in that game, and it was, like Nasty said, a beat down.
Now, I think they won the year before that or the year after.
Year before that, our sophomore year.
They won.
Brandon Jones won both years.
They won back to back.
Yes, but both of those games were in Nacogdoches. They've never won in Lufkin.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I remember both those games vividly. Those were, two games we hate to drop in Panther history. But like you said, you look at that team. They had Brandon Jones, Josh Thompson. They had the two the brothers that went to one went to Tech. I can't think of his name.
That was Thompson, I think, wasn't it?
No, Thompson went to Texas. Jones went to Texas. They had two Lanes. That was their last name, Lane.
Lane?
Yes, he went to Tech. He played defensive back, I believe, also.
Well, we need to give my buddy that'll be with us on the sideline Friday night in Longview a shout out. It's not a good one, obviously, but he too, his junior year, lost to the Dragons.
JT did?
JT?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not his senior year. He said they came back with a vengeance that year, but his junior year, I think they got clipped.
I had no clue about that.
Well, it's we've been together a while.
Nasty, what else you got out there for us?
As far as the high school goes, my boys from CKT, boy, you talk about a pillow fight. They're going to Caldwell. I'm telling you right now, only parents will be at that game. And this will be 2 teams that'll be playing basketball season early. Outside of that, Diebold, y'all talk about the Lumberjacks and Coach Morrison?
We didn't have Coach Morrison yet.
I got Lumberjacks, the Lumberjack Stadium. They'll be playing host to the Mustangs of Madisonville on Friday night. Also, good luck to Coach Morrison.
That's always a big game.
Well, Coach Morrison's been playing a lot of games lately.
Yeah.
Plus, he's also in there with in the district with Westwood, and we all know what they're going through right now.
Yeah, they got a lot going on over there.
If you're going to cheat, you got to be good enough not to get caught.
That's very true, and they got caught for sure, red-handed. Well, we look at a little college football. We go through that route. You got Texas headed to college this weekend.
Texas, Ohio State. Texas has what feels like everybody brand new on the offense except for one guy, and his last name is Manning. So that usually tilts yourself well. And then Ohio State's got just about everybody brand new on the defensive side of the ball. So
Did you forget about the running back in the backfield for the Horns?
Just like I said, just about everybody. Okay. What, you replaced 3-4 offensive linemen, basically 4 of your wide receivers, your quarterback technically.
You forget about Ryan Wingo also.
Okay, but you have to play at the shoe, so that's a big thing. And that's what. And actually, I'll pose you this question. I asked Jalen this: what do you think is going to have a bigger impact? Arch Manning's first true road game being at the shoe, a 1-versus-2 matchup, or basically the home atmosphere, or Arch Manning having his first road start?
I don't think there's going to be any situation that overpowers Arch Manning, so I'm not worried about that.
Ooh.
The line here, it seems to me like they're begging us to take Texas, and that is what concerns me.
Yeah.
They didn't build those high rises out in Vegas because they're stupid. So they're begging us all to take Texas. And on two, I was out there last week. The line was at -3. Now it's down to -1.5. But I just don't think you can start a true freshman in this kind of game as Ohio State's going to do with a new defensive coordinator, a new offensive coordinator. I really think Texas isn't going to have much of a problem with this. I think they win by 21.
You just blew his mind, Pods. He's been talking the last month or two about Arch Manny's going to do. He's not going to be able to do this, not going to do that. Dude, when your last name is Manny, you're born for moments like this.
Look, like you said, everybody's got a plan until you get hit in the mouth. You're going to get hit in the mouth with 105 screaming fans of Cardinal Red or whatever Ohio State is. And I know
your last name is Manny. None of that phases you, Pods.
Are any of them suiting up?
Yeah, the 11 on the other side of the ball.
They're going to start out drinking one thing, but they're going to go home drinking something a lot darker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. A home atmosphere in that big of a game, first game of the year, with replacing the majority of your offense.
I think it's a beatdown.
I just don't see it being a beatdown.
Nasty. You got a big shout out. Sean Clinch said he wanted to brag about your wallpaper behind you.
That's 1945, baby.
He wanted to brag about that. He said Nasty's wallpaper is phenomenal.
Well, I had to come in here and actually plug into the internet, so we'll try to fix it up. I'm going to have a little bit better setup next week.
Yeah, I will definitely be more prepared next week. Yeah, we'll set up here 2 deep, and we'll be more prepared. We'll have it rocking. But you can't forget to talk about a lot more big games. You get Clemson at Miami. I think Clemson LSU. I mean, Clemson LSU. I'm so sorry. I think about last year. But I can't get behind LSU. Why? I don't know what it is. I think Cade Klubnik is a gamer, and I think they're going to find a way to go win the ACC and have their way in the playoffs and play for a national championship.
Well, they could.
The way Klubnik played in the last half of the season, I became a believer. But I
watched it with my own 2 eyes in the playoffs last year, and he did not miss much.
LSU's kryptonite has been the defensive side of the ball for since Brian Kelly got there. His first year they were ranked like 150th with only 130 teams in Division I. The last year they were slightly better. They were still ranked almost 100th. And then this year, if they just get better, they finish 9-3. If they're a middle of the pack team in defense on the side of the ball, Nussmeier's going to move the ball. I think he's a dark horse for the Heisman. He's not dark horse really on the odds wise, but if they just keep incrementally getting better on defense, they're going to win 10 games, and one of those is going to be against Clemson.
Yeah, no, we're going to see. We're going to see in 2 days. But the question I have for you all: can the Aggies go to Death Valley this year and pull it off?
Death Valley.
They go to LSU?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at A&M's schedule. I've been focusing on Ole Miss.
They do the week of the wedding. That's Saturday before.
Well, I guess we could drive through.
Well, what time's that wedding get over, Pods?
They better worry about UTSA on Saturday before they start thinking about LSU.
Man,
the other big game at opening weekend is Notre Dame Miami in Miami.
Well, if y'all are going by order, at 2, Texas plays at 11. Alabama's playing Florida State at 2:30. I guess y'all think that's an Alabama slam.
That game does not matter. That game is Alabama's going to beat them every which way.
What is it, Tony Castellanos, or is he the Keebler elf? I don't know what he is, but he's not a quarterback. Mike Norvell's barely a coach. They're going to lose that game. I'm not worried about it.
Okay, real quickly, Friday, Auburn's at Baylor.
That's a game.
Y'all, everybody hates me for this, but I am a Jackson Arnold fan. I think that he is going to do great at Auburn. I don't know what it is about him. I got to watch him play for a state championship in high school, and he is a bull. And I think he got to Oklahoma, and they couldn't fit him in their scheme. And I think he's going to get to Auburn, and he's going to shine like a diamond.
Well, what do you feel about the 4 different coaches calling plays on different downs?
I'll just tell you, Baylor's one of my favorite picks of the weekend.
I would hammer Baylor.
And the other one, Georgia Tech and Haynes King, he's playing his final year of college football, is going up to Boulder to take on prime time. But they retired 2 numbers. If they do it at that rate, they're going to run out of numbers in about 25 years. But I'm going to be rooting for Haynes in this one, I'll tell you.
Man, I'm a big fan of Haynes King at Georgia Tech this year. I think they were that close to beating Georgia last year. I think they're going to find a way to get them this year. I think Haynes King is a baller. If you look at what he's been through on the field, he has took a butt whooping. Yeah, and he has never shut down.
Yeah.
And you mentioned 6:30 Sunday afternoon on ABC. Notre Dame's going down to Miami, correct? Or is that neutral site?
That's on Monday. Well, technically it's a neutral site because they play all their games at Hard Rock, and no one travels from Miami. So
I thought they played Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. Sorry, I thought it was Monday. Sunday at 6:30.
Yeah, down in Florida.
Yep.
So I would normally say Notre Dame here, but it's going to be hot down there.
It's going to be very hot.
But I'm with you. I can't get on board with Miami. I just can't do it. I know I wouldn't be able to if Keedron was going to be playing, but I got 6 plays for the weekend, and this is not one of them. Either way.
I got to take the Fighting Irish. I am not a Carson Beck fan.
Yeah, Carson Beck, Mario Cristobal, and he's doing well on both sides of the line, from the offensive side, on the offensive line, defensive line. It's looking more and more like an SEC type team on both of those sides, but it's still Mario Cristobal and his offensive line guru. He played it. He's a great coach of it. They still have to snap the ball to Carson Beck. They're not they're not good enough.
Beck might have 99 problems, but I know what 2 of them mean. The bag and the women.
Yeah.
And then Monday night, TCU is going up to play Belichick.
That'll be a fun one.
You think Belichick can get it done?
I'm telling you, it could be a dumpster fire of 2-10, or it could be 10-2. Who has any clue?
Yeah, I mean, they have like 70 new players on the roster, which is, I guess it's common nature with this day and era of college football. But 70 new players. He is one of the. You can call him great, call him not, because he had Tom Brady, who was the greatest. Your opinion of him will probably dwindle on this game. If he loses at TCU, maybe he wasn't that good.
Well, all I can say is I'm not betting against Belichick until he gives me a reason. I'm not taking him. It's kind of like I had Brady. You ain't got to bet on Brady, but you ain't got to go against him either.
No, you never want to do that. Well, Nasty, this show is going to be something special. I think we got it all down, and we're ready to get going through the season. But the main reason for the big reason for this show this week is that Lufkin versus Longview game. And one thing I want to say to all our people in Lufkin, make sure you get on the road Friday. Go down there and support those kids. We got something special going, and get out there and pack the stands. And, let's try to leave Longview with a big Panther win. And we need the fans behind us to make it happen.
Hey, and one other thing. So we're going to go live on the track down there at Lobo Field, 6 o'clock on Friday night. At 5:15, we'll have a replay of this show. This show every game day is going to be your lead-in, kind of like a pregame show, leading into a game day experience for the Panthers. So we're all partnering together. We got our great sponsors of Whataburger, Tio Juanitas, and of course Wright Buick GMC to help bring you that. And again, every game night we're going to replay this every Friday, or we get a playoff game on Saturday. Either way, but I just think it's a great time. It's going to be obviously a lot of fun. I appreciate you boys letting me be a part of it.
Yes, sir. Don't forget to mention you can find us on X at Live from the Pines, Instagram Live from the Pines, and YouTube Live from the Pines podcast. It is streamed to me and Trey's Facebook. We'll have Nasty set up streaming his Facebook next week. Make sure to be tuned in on Lufkin Game Time Friday at 5:45, correct?
5:15 for us.
5:15. I'm sorry. Tune in 5:15 while you're on the road headed to Longview. Tune in, turn this show on, and get ready for Coach Absek and not Coach Nasty, Uncle Nasty, to have the pregame show going.
No doubt about that. Let's go, baby. Let's get it, Panthers. Go Pack.
Let's go. Thank you all for watching tonight, and tune in again Friday at 5:15. Thank you, guys. Live from the Pines.
Later.